Hello, everybody, and welcome to one of my other podcasts. Of course, you know who I am, Tanya Otterstein-Liehs, empowering mindful health and wellness coach. I want to thank you for joining me today for my conversational interview with another expert in the health wellness industry, and I'm here to welcome Dee. Hello, Dee. How are you?
Hi, Tanya. I'm great.
Excellent. Now,
Yourself?
good, thank you.
Good.
Now, some of you are wondering, who is Dee? How long have you met Dee? Well, I met Dee, I was thinking about it this morning, and I met Dee 8 years ago, back when my daughter did do dance for many years and had the privilege of having Dee as her dance instructor. So that's how long I've known Dee. She's been a pleasure to be part of my world. And, you know, it was really interesting how when I talk about we go through different stages, we go through different transformations in life, and we always have something in us that speaks louder. And I've seen that happen, of course, as you know, myself, as well as Dee. Dee always had another hat that she kept kind of quiet until Dee will let you know how many years ago that she brought out her other top hat. So what Dee does, she is an intuitive energetic healer and transformational coach. And she helps people all over the world, helps women all over across the globe to really start shifting that mindset. It's amazing the work she does. So Dee, if I can ask you, please, in your own words, let me know, let our audience know a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how you help your clients.
Sure. So it's been a bit of a journey for myself. I actually started working with clients, if you look at the perspective of helping people, from the time that I was like very, very small. I would go up to people, and keep in mind I was very shy. Okay, so I wouldn't really talk to people, but I could see their auras, which I didn't know at the time. That's what I could see, but I could see that there was something with that, and I would walk up to them and I would want to put my hands near them, and it freaked out my mom, like completely freaked. She's like, you can't walk up and touch people, and or like go to, or I'd want to hug them kind of thing or whatever. So I actually think I've been doing this for like even longer than I say that I've been kind of doing it, because I didn't really know. I didn't have the support in place to help that. I, in fact, freaked out my family more than anything with that, right?
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's kind of been on the back burner until more recently, when I've surrounded myself with more of a tribe of people that are like, no, what you're doing is very real, and this is like your big purpose on this planet is to help other people awaken their gifts, awaken that soul within them that gets suppressed and gets conditioned on while we're here having this human experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been more recently that I'm like, oh, okay, this makes so much more sense now. And I've said all my life, like, all I want to do is help people. That has been like from the time that I was little, when people ask me, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to help people.
Yeah.
Right. And that is the thing that I still in this moment feel most passionate about. And I think that's why throughout my journey, I've done things like volunteering and teaching dance to the entire Lexington school population, all of those things, because that's magic to me. That is like, this that is where I feel most alive, is when I actually am helping other people. So what's kind of got me on this journey of helping other people be empowered and helping other people reconnect that soul that has gone to sleep, essentially, is like kind of how I see it, right? Because it doesn't leave us. It's just that if we're not, it's like muscles, right? Like, and you know more than anything, if you don't exercise those muscles, they atrophy, right? They get weak. And it's no different than us exercising like our spiritual muscles. Okay, it's just another aspect of us that we really don't honor as much as we really need to on this planet, right? Our ancestors did, our tribes long ago did. They were very in tune to that. But especially in Western society, not so much, right? It's
Yeah.
just don't honor the self.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't honor the self, then that's when you see sickness. That's when you see depression. That's when you see anxiety. And, and I can't believe with like all the people that I teach and stuff, the amount of anxiety, the amount of depression.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been teaching for over 2 years, right? So
Yeah.
I've watched this shift happen with people.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's missing? And this is what's missing: our connection to our soul self, our connection to us being the boss of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and getting that support, right? Which I strongly connected to, because I didn't have that support for a long time, but I think my drive inner wise was still strong enough that I just kept pushing, because I just felt like somewhere along the lines there's more. And I had those impact people along the way that helped me keep going. But not everybody has that, or not everybody has found that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of my big mad missions. For me, is to be that person, be that support person, for people, for women, to go, okay, there is more to this journey than me just being labeled as the mom, me just
Mm-hmm.
being labeled as the corporate business lady, or me just being labeled as the whatever
Yeah.
your label is, right?
Yeah.
Because that, even if you're doing the thing that you enjoy, right? Like you said, I wear many hats, and those are things that I really enjoy as well.
Yeah.
But if it's not fulfilling you, and if it's not, at the end of the day, you're still like, there's something missing. There's
Yeah.
something bigger. There's something more
Yeah.
to this journey. Or maybe you're asking those questions. Is there more to this journey?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I step in. That's where I help you kind of look at those things that you feel like are blockages, or limiting you in some way, because we can get very habitual in kind of, essentially, their excuses. Once you allow yourself to peel back those layers of
Yeah.
your own dramas, right, is what it turns, if when you look at the big picture, they're just excuses. And once you get tired of saying those excuses,
Yeah.
then, and tired of seeing stuff as obstacles instead of something that you can move through, magic happens. Like, it just, and it's so empowering. And to help people do that, and knowing, like, I didn't have that as a child, as a youth, as a young adult, because my family didn't support it. And I've come to learn kind of recently is that part of my purpose here was to help my family awaken,
Lovely.
which was like, the light bulb moment, going, what? Oh, okay, now this makes sense, right? Where
Yeah.
I felt like the black sheep for a long time. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of us out there that
Yeah.
feel that. Like, I have conversations all the time that people are saying, I don't fit in, I don't know where I fit.
Right.
I was that person. I would tell my mom I landed on the wrong planet
I love that
all
analogy.
the time, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Right? I don't
Yeah.
fit into this. But if you're feeling that, then you have definitely a bigger purpose here, right? Because there's something in you that this planet needs right now.
Excellent, Dee. And I want to quick point out something while it's on top of my head. If any of you, as you're watching this, and if you notice Dee and I, we start to yawn, or you start to yawn, or you get lightheaded, which I am. Dee has this amazing energy that you can feel. So yeah, have your feet on the ground. And also the yawning is shifting of energy. Dee can talk to you about it. You can always contact her. I'll put that information below this so you can know all about that. And Dee, I really love how because it's so true. And I always talk about too how you say it's women's fears, it's women's excuses. It's not giving yourself permission to listen to that intuition. It's not giving yourself permission because of your excuses to say, there's more. Why am I feeling like this? Acknowledging it, being accountable to find out why, being accountable, acknowledging, giving that permission to allow yourself to not be locked, to shift and not be locked inside anymore. So I love how you really brought that forth, talking about what you do and what your passion is. So I thank you very much for mentioning that and sharing that. And, it kind of brought me to my next question, which I feel already answered, that, that's what allows you to thrive and live by your passion, because you have seen it in your clients when you help them to do that shift, do that transition, how all of a sudden the light goes off and their whole life basically changes and does a 180 for the positive. So that is great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I think too, the thing that allows me to continue is that I didn't, not that I didn't have low points, but I've never given up on myself
Nice.
completely.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big thing, because we all go through funks. We
We
all
become,
go
people
through,
become stuck, right?
and we go through stuff on this journey, right? And we all do. And the biggest thing is to, one, realize you're not alone
Yeah.
going through this. And two, the best thing you can do is to get up and go, okay, that wasn't cool, but there's more.
Yeah.
Right? And allow yourself to go through it, allow
Yeah.
yourself to honor the emotions that you're experiencing in
Mm-hmm.
those rough times,
Mm-hmm.
and move through it.
Yeah. Just let it go, right?
Differently, and move through that. And that's some of the work that I do really helps you kind of do the digging, because a lot of that stuff is buried stuff, buried from your childhood, buried possibly, if you believe and encompass the idea of past lives, which I do, because I
Yeah.
actually remember past lives. So how can
Yeah.
I not encompass that, right? But there's stuff that we carry. And actually, I saw a thing on Facebook this morning, one of those science flips.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, I have to go back and find it, because I thought I shared it and I didn't.
Oh.
Where they had talked about that they're discovering that perhaps there's stuff in our cells
Mm-hmm.
that is beyond our time.
Yeah.
What's carrying memories of our ancestors, carrying memories of past lives. I'm like, science is finally coming up.
Yeah.
Right? And
It's
that's
true.
exactly it, because I already worked in that. I already worked beyond kind of what science says. But sometimes our physical minds need the science for us to
Mm-hmm.
wrap our heads around the woo.
Yeah, exactly. And, going forth and talking about that, you have a really interesting program that you're launching, I believe now that it's June. It's called the Deep Soul Connection Awakening Journey. So please, Dee, can you share with our audience today what this journey, your program, is about?
Absolutely. So the journey is very much about like what I talked about already, where people who are ready to kind of tap into there's more to this, but I know I'm kind of tangled up and I don't know how to unravel this myself. So it's part one-on-one and part group, because I'm a huge believer that there's power in numbers, and that the people that come together kind of in the same moment of time will help each other.
That
Right?
support,
Because you get the not, I'm not alone, right? Because other people will resonate. But at the same time, you're getting one-on-one support with me to kind of whatever it is that you need. If you need me to hold your hand and a shoulder to cry on, to get stuff out, or me to reflect back to you that this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm hearing, right? Because when we keep it all inside, it's just like how our kids make mountains out of molehills with their fears, right? We still do that as adults, especially if we have like inner child stuff that went on that kept us small, whether that was with money stories, whether that was with lack of love in our relationships, growing up, whatever it was, whatever those kind of conditioning stories that shaped who you are in this moment, but aren't necessarily serving you, right? That we get to kind of, I call it the onion. A lot of, like, I refer to onion a lot, as do a lot of people who work kind of in this field, right? Because it's the best image that our minds can see. Like if you cut an onion in half, you see that there's all these layers, and then you have that little middle bit.
So true. Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We're working together to kind of go, oh, you don't need that anymore. That was because a lot of the times the energy existed before you did.
Mm-hmm.
And when we can start realizing that that's not mine to carry, that can go. And that's not mine to carry, that can go. Or I see where I'm responsible for that energy, but I'm not going to carry that anymore and let that go. But it's all a process. It can get easier, right? As you elevate your energy, and as you start calling yourself on your own BS, then you can start shifting that faster, right? So it's not like a forever commitment. It's more like the stepping stone, or the getting the ball to push and getting it to go. So then you just need maintenance, or you just, or maybe not. Maybe you'll kind of go, oh, okay, now I've got this. But I still work with coaches, right? And you still work with coaches.
Mm-hmm.
It's not this ending process. And that's a big thing that's really important for us to become okay with.
Yeah.
We're okay if we go to the dentist. We're okay if we go to the doctor, or we go get our car fixed.
Yeah.
We don't just go get our car fixed once. We go for oil changes. We do all this other outer maintenance stuff, or stuff for our physical body. But I'm talking about our energy body.
Yeah,
and
inside.
When we balance the energy body, then stuff changes. And there's research starting to come out now about the importance of us being balanced on our energy side.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually, for me, started a couple years ago when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And her oncologist said, get rid of resentment and get rid of any grudges that you're holding. Mm-hmm. Right? That had jack to do with food, exercise, whatever.
Yeah.
He was talking energy. Like, he was very forward thinking. You don't
very cool.
hear a lot of doctors talking about there's an energy component to your disease.
Yeah, it's like mind, right? Mind is amazing healer.
Yeah. So that's what a lot of kind of unfolds with this deep soul connection, is like we're gonna open up the vault and dig in and see what it is that you need to shift, need to look at honestly. So it's not for everybody to do right away, right? This is for people that are really willing to step in and get brutally honest with their journey. I have other programs that are softer, less intense. Right? But this is for people that are like, I'm done. I'm done with being this way. I'm ready to take that step and shift some massive mountains out of my life.
Cool. Very nice. Very nice. And I loved how you talked about it's a community as well as one-on-one. You're there to hold your hand. You're there to help them go through journey. Because I'm, right away, my self-empowerment academy popped into my hands like, oh my gosh, these two would fit so balanced in with each other, because, it's a group and supporting each other, but as well as, I'm here to hold your hand and get you through this. So it's like, wow, these two programs, like, yours and mine, are like exactly balanced and working together. So, it's amazing how they both help empower women. I really, really love that. Now, Dee, we only have about, looking at the time, because I really want to respect your time. So we have like 3 minutes left, 4 minutes top. And like I said, again, I want to really be respectful of your time and not go over the time. As far as how can we reach you? And also, for our audience, I always will put them at the bottom of this video, so you'll be able to read how to reach you. But Dee, can you let us know briefly how to reach you, social media, website, anything like that?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook. That's where I spend a lot of my time, under Vibrant Vibes from the Ground Up, or from Raising Your Vibe Tribe. I also have a website that's in a work in progress, but it's up, which is from the ground up, ftgu.com. Or email me from the ground up, art with a Z at gmail.com.
Excellent. And like I said, I'll be putting it at the bottom when you watch this on YouTube. I have it, as you know, right at the bottom of this. Now, Dee, I always like an interesting closing in every conversational interview I do, because we've learned all about you, what you do. But as far as aside from who is Dee, let's have 3 things we can really dive deep in. As far as a quote, what is a quote you just love and live by, Dee?
This was so hard for me. I got it down to 5.
One.
I know. Okay, so be where your feet are is one of my favorite quotes, because
Very
that
cool.
brings us right now into the moment. It grounds your energy, right? Because we get so backwards thinking of all the stuff that happened to us in the past, and we get so forward thinking, which it's not bad to think about the future, but usually what people start spinning their wheels on is all the stuff that they're not going to achieve in their future.
Very cool.
So
Very
be where
cool.
your feet are was my number 1, I guess.
And that, you know what? And that actually rolls nicely. You already answered number 2. And my second question to you was, what's the number 1 advice you can share with listeners? So I really feel that you answered it. It's ground your feet, be in the moment, stop looking in the past, stop worrying about forward. But yeah, so I find that's really, really good advice that you just shared tied into that quote. Now, if this was the last day of your life in this current life, not future ones, but in this current life, if this was a last day, other than family, what's one thing that you will be grateful for?
Absolutely grateful for receiving life, for receiving the opportunity to have a journey here as a human being. And all of those people, not just family, but all of those people that I've had these interactions with, and with the strong belief that we are all connected, right? So a little bit of you carries on anyways, and perhaps we'll cycle back to you if
Excellent.
if you come back. So
yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Dee, for your time. This was a really fun, really uplifting conversational interview. So I really appreciate again for sharing your insight, I'll say, into the healing powers and transformations, and looking deep inside. It's something that can't be stressed enough, that we really need to dig deep inside for things to move in a positive way. So thank you again for your time. And I want to thank you, the listeners or audience, for listening to my podcast here with Dee today. Of course, if you loved this conversational interview, then go ahead right below, share it, and on the right-hand side, you subscribe so you never miss any of my wonderful conversational interviews or my weekly Talk with Tanya's. Have yourself a wonderful day, and do not, hesitate at all to reach out Dee or myself. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.